Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Petty Cash Podcast. All you cool kittens and cats out there. I'm here with my co-host here,
Danny,
Vinny,
and Charles.
And we're here to bring you another episode of this great, fabulous podcast. So, gents, what have you been up to all week and day?
this past week, honestly, I was just waiting for the week to be over. I had a coworker leave yesterday, which happy trails, Victoria.
Thanks for the cake.
Yeah. We went to what was it? The Halloween or the Haunted Marketplace?
Halloween Marketplace.
Halloween
AZ
Marketplace
Halloween
yesterday,
Marketplace, yeah.
which that was kind of fun. It was small, but 'twas fun.
It was
Hot.
free.
Yeah.
That too.
Not burning hot, but yeah, it was hot. Yeah.
I especially felt bad for the vendors that were
Good God.
outside of the cover, and so they had to use their canopies. Some of them didn't even have that, and I was like, "Oh man, how are you guys surviving?"
Yeah, I saw our homeboy Todd Cook over there, and he had a fan blowing. I was like, "You son of a gun!"
You're
And,
smart. You're smart for doing that.
He's been doing it for ages, man.
Yeah,
Thanks
he's got
for
it
the
down to a
patches.
science.
patches,
Yeah,
Todd.
Thank you for the
patches.
patches.
And if you don't know Todd Cook Designs, definitely give him a follow.
Go check his stuff out.
Yes.
Great, high quality stuff.
The best quality no ghost patches you will ever find on the market.
Second to none.
And we want 10%, Todd, if this goes.
Free promo, man. Free promo.
Fuck all of y'all.
And I take a great pity on the cosplayers out there sweating in the heat.
Oh yeah, no kidding. Like that, there was that one guy that was dressed in it was like a full latex head
Oh
mask.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
From
didn't
the
know what
AZ
that.
It was from like the AZ Haunters. He looked kind of like a mix of like Toxie from Toxic
Yeah.
Avenger.
Yeah.
Looked like that mixed with like part 2 Jason.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I mean, wearing that full, plastic and latex and everything, just in that.
Heavy layers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the bunny suit guy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, there was a guy in like a near full bunny suit. I was like, oh my gosh, that thing doesn't breathe at all.
nope.
So I just looked at like my watch here, but definitely we got 4 weeks till our trip over in Anaheim.
Yeah.
Damn. So like these past couple days ago, we're all texting each other at work, and we're just like, "Oh man, what should we be on the lookout for?" We heard one of the news from Disney is that they started doing the genie or the what is it, Danny? The wristband plus thing.
Oh,
or,
Magic Band Plus.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The magic bands.
So we're all going through designs, and I'm such a Tron nut. So I was just like, I know it's a Magic Band too, but I'm like, fuck that, like this is just mine only because I'm a sucker for Tron. What were you guys,
Honestly,
going
the
for?
Tron one, the one you showed us, that one looked really cool.
That is the
but
best design so
I'm
far.
like I've said to these guys, I'm waiting till they release ones online, or if they release them while we're there in the park that say these ones work in Disneyland and or Disney World, not just Disney World. Because if you buy them now and they only say Disney World, you run the risk of them not working in Disneyland.
So it's run by actually your Disney ID account. So what's funny is I was actually looking up on it. So as long as your info is actually loaded onto the little, monitor detector wristband or whatnot, I mean, it could work. But yeah, so definitely waiting for confirmation to actually use those wristbands for the Disneyland parks in Anaheim. But I mean, other than the Tron ones, what designs were you guys eyeballing the most though?
I honestly wasn't like looking for them. I saw like a couple ones. I saw like a navy blue one. I saw maybe a Star Wars or Millennium Falcon one, but I'm not getting one yet.
I noticed you, Vinny. You gave us. So this Mr. Buzz Lightyear here, he gave us, a navy blue one, and most of us were kind of like just shock and awe. Well, not really, but it was just like, wait a minute. There was a Pixar design, and then there was a,
Well, the thing is like I love Toy Story with all my heart and soul, but if you're gonna make one that's more like a childish gimmick look and not like an adult streamline look, I'm not interested. I don't want like a cheesy looking wristband that some kid's gonna mistake for a kid's watch. I want something that looks cool. I want something that looks adult, stylized.
He wants the cheesy one.
No. The only one I took into consideration was the Disney Pixar's Lightyear Special Edition that glows in the dark. But other than that, if they come out with some really cool like Halloween versions of it when we go, if they have one for Haunted Mansion, then I'll get that. But other than that,
Well, the release date is just fall 2022, so it could literally be. It could be tomorrow, or it could be like November 15th.
it could be literally right after we go.
Yeah, it's the following Saturday when we leave.
Which hey, I'd be in luck because it sounds like me and my family are going December. So
Motherfuckers.
And they go to Disney World on Saturday. So yeah. All right, what about you, Charles? You've been quiet there.
Oh yeah, for the designs, I was looking at the Iron Man one was pretty cool.
Yeah.
The Millennium Falcon one, that one was pretty clean. Also, there was one with I think it was Darth Vader. That one was also pretty sweet too.
Yeah, there was like a Kenobi series.
Yeah.
design.
Yeah. I was digging that design. But yeah, like Danny said, unfortunately, kind of got to wait until to make sure that they confirm that, because it's mainly just an operations thing, because it all just comes down to accessing the same database, really. But it's just making sure that they have all that infrastructure in place.
right, and since they've been doing this at Disney World for Lord knows probably at least a good decade at this point. I don't know how long they've been doing it, but they've been doing it for quite some time over there. You would think like it'd just be easy, like, oh, just have this thing access this park. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if like the Disney World ones would be allowed to be used at Disneyland once this starts rolling.
It'd be pretty cool if they did.
It seems like it would make sense, because like, why would you have two separate bands? Because there doesn't appear to be a distinction, like an outward, like outside design distinction, like, oh, this is exclusive Disney World versus Disneyland. But then again,
Right.
it is the mouse, so they
Because
might be
of
like,
money.
more money. You
Well,
can
yeah,
buy
we
two
know
bands
there's
instead of
park
one.
Well, this
exclusive
one has
merchandise.
like a pocket knife one, and there's one that with a garrote wire. If you don't like the person in front of you, just choke them out. Godfather style. Sorry.
Die for the mouse.
Go to sleep. Go to sleep. It took a dark turn here. But yeah, so I will choke your life out. So we're talking about this because like we're kind of excited for the trip, but damn, like for me, like for all of us, I mean, work is getting in the way. I mean, that's what's going to pay the bills and this trip, and also have this really this training that's going to happen next month. That's going to kick my ass just the week before. So that's going to be exciting. We'll, during our conversation, because it's the only thing that's keeping the work week, sane or just passing through, we were going to like wear shirts. What kind of shirts are you guys going to wear for
Oh God.
Halloween Horror Nights and Disneyland?
Well, Halloween Horror Nights, we all agreed on the Ectofire shirt, so
yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely that one.
I mean, I want before that plan. Originally, I wanted me and Sabrina to wear our Hogwarts House Quidditch shirts. She has a Ravenclaw Quidditch shirt. She got me a Gryffindor Quidditch shirt. So before that plan, that was what we were gonna do. And then for Disney, she's still like looking for something. She found a really cool shirt yesterday that she'll tell you guys about
Come
soon.
on. Oh, okay.
But I'll be wearing
Share,
my
bitch. What is it?
but I'll be wearing my Mickey Mouse Godzilla shirt.
Of course.
Oh, there
That's
you go.
Godzilla. Yeah. I don't know, there's so many. It's either rocking the card, doing one, just stick it to Disney and all that.
I know.
Or wear Walt Disney's Frozen head.
I remember you talking about that one.
Or Song of the South, just to really like.
I think Splash
want
Mountain will
Uncle
still
Remus.
be there
Yeah.
while we're there.
Just, I want them all to go like, can we zoom in on that guy's shirt? Magnify. Magnify. Enhance. Oh my God. Just, we got to kick you out of the park, sir, or you got to wear a different shirt and just have multiple shirts.
Excuse me, sir. Can you take off that racist piece of crap? Or get the hell out of my park. Leave your wallet.
That shirt's not allowed.
Yeah, like we definitely like for Star Wars. There's so many designs we want to go.
The Hutch Touch.
The Hutch Touch one.
Yeah, you got to get
You
that.
have to
Oh,
rock
yeah,
that
that's
one. There's
Nobody calls my fan a piece of shit.
you get the curly hair wig.
Hutch for,
Get the fingerless gloves.
Grow your hair out.
I'll just get a wig.
Dude, yeah, just get a wig right now.
Stay,
man.
stay, come on, boys.
Han Solo's still a bitch.
I'm so a bitch.
Yeah, we're rocking like I don't know. We had like so like when before we were planning all this, we joked around with like let's wear Star Trek gear but primarily it's Star Wars.
Nah.
I mean, if we want to get killed, we wear Trekkie outfits. But if we
We're just gonna go as the fanboys.
the fanboys, Star Wars, and of course I think Charles and I are maybe rocking some Spaceballs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I already got a May the Schwartz be with you shirt.
I'm getting a face mask just to rub it into.
I got
Spaceballs, the face mask.
Spaceballs, the face mask. Yeah.
I mean, because we're going during the Halloween season, I really do want to wear my Ghostbusters uniform to the park. Not the full thing, just the jumpsuit
No.
with my belt and and the Disney Bound backpack.
No.
Why?
Dude, how many? Okay, have you called Disney for
Not yet.
clarification
I'm just saying I
Okay,
want
dude.
to. I'm not saying it's gonna happen.
Remember,
I
there's
would like to.
lockers. If they tell them to strip that off and whatnot. God, I mean, I know we're giving like our Death Star battle plans of what we're gonna do on this trip.
I mean, we're just mainly talking Disney. We haven't even talked Universal yet.
Oh,
I mean, it's
God.
really, I mean, because we're in a time crunch, and I think they either close around like 11:30 or midnight.
Only
I can't,
5 hours?
Yeah, man.
Jeez,
What? But I think like to get everybody. I mean, you really don't want like the actors, everybody to stay, because then they gotta get up and everything. But yeah, I think the latest is probably. I mean, to clear out, maybe like 1 or 2 in the morning for those
Oh, okay.
people to stay
That's
in.
fair.
Okay.
But again, yeah, like the Halloween Horror Nights, it starts at 6 p.m. So I mean, look, like California traffic sucks, and for us, like that Wednesday, it's just like you want to get there fast, quick, and easy as much as possible, and you really don't want to run into traffic there,
Right.
Because like I'm telling you, people, if you're that bored at work, you could Google Maps. Just I don't know, pick a place that you know in LA. Type in the destination. You will see nothing but red lines every day. Like it's common for them. So yeah, we'll be leaving like the Wednesday night, Thursday morning. So
Yeah, come home from work Wednesday night, go to sleep for like 5 hours, wake up and haul ass in the van.
So this is a funny story. So when we went to Anaheim for celebration, my fucking lazy ass, like I slept, and I tell Charles, like, hey, we're gonna leave at 11:30. It's like 12:20 something, and I woke up.
Oh my
my
god.
Yeah, my alarm goes off. I'm looking at him like, why hasn't Joe said anything yet? Why hasn't Joe said anything yet?
So
Like,
that,
Joe, are you all right, man? And
yeah,
it was like,
you're all right. I wake up, it's night. I'm like, you kind of have those minutes, those seconds to adjust, and like, holy fuck!
Great Scott!
Great Scott!
I'm late. Doc, I'm late for school.
Yeah, so I'll pick you up, man. But like, I think we got on the road at like 12:57 something.
not too bad.
yeah, something like that.
That's
yeah.
not too shabby.
Nah, I was already like, it was basically like the old cartoons. Like I just fucking stretched my blanket and it rolled. Like I was like snapped it, it rolled, and then I was ready to like get out of bed. Like, all right, let's go, let's get to Anaheim. So nah, definitely looking forward to this trip. I don't know. What do you guys? I mean, primarily, there's something specific about this trip. What are you all looking?
So, my dad is a huge Universal Monsters fan, and one of the mazes is Universal Monsters Collide. I believe it's Wolfman, Mummy, and either Dracula.
Dracula,
or
yeah.
It's Dracula.
Wolfman, Mummy, and Dracula. I couldn't remember if it was Brad
Frankenstein's
or
monster. Fuck off.
But since he's a huge fan of the Wolfman, one of the merchandise they're having this year based on that maze is a shirt with like mainly the Wolfman present with like I think the other 2 monsters down there, but the Wolfman is like center stage on the shirt. My dad like tagged me in a post like, "Hey Dan, look at this." So I'm like, okay, I gotta get one for him. I gotta get one for me.
I took a peek into the walkthrough attractions from this year. They look pretty good.
I haven't looked yet. I want to be fresh. I don't mind like seeing the stuff around the mazes. I don't want to see the mazes yet. I want to experience that in person.
Same for me. I haven't been looking into it too much because I want to go in fresh. Just
Because Ordinary Adventures, they did a tour of the Hollywood mazes. I'm like, nope.
yeah, exactly. Skip that. Sorry, guys.
Yeah,
I hate to
no.
skip your video, but yeah.
And I know there's gonna be like gift shop surprises. I know we're kind of like eyeballing like shirts and everything. You guys know the story of the Odyssey, right?
No.
Think so?
Odyssey?
Huh? or is it Iliad or something like that? But with Homer, something.
Oh,
with, like,
Homer's Odyssey.
Oh,
yes.
Homer-
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
So, anyway, there's a part in it where like the sirens, like they got to stuff their ears with like honey or something like
Yeah.
that, because the sirens have like this really hypnotic like sound, voice, singing voice, and all that. And so, that's basically why I have put that out there, because it's that that's what the gifts are. And I know there's we have the Disneyland trip after, so it's like, oh fuck, you got to control your money too, because
Right.
we're willing to blow everything at like Disneyland, blow it out of proportion. But go to Frankenstein's after.
Right.
This is gonna be like a wallet eater. So
Because like as well as going to Universal after like we do all the mazes and like okay we've done our mazes, now let's check out the rest of the park. I need to go to the Wizarding World and get me a Hufflepuff robe since I am
Yes.
a proud Hufflepuff.
yeah,
I need to go get me a wand.
it's just a one. Yeah, that's. I mean,
Well, I mean, like, there's a lot of stuff that I'm looking forward to. It's just I have no expectations as to what I would want to get. Like, this is the one time where I'm like, I'm keeping my money and making sure I'm not blowing it all at once.
There's actually one cool thing at the gift shops, they may have this over there still, but they have like the old DeLorean still from Back to the Future.
Oh, it was like a museum or something. Yeah.
Oh,
I think I know
yeah.
what you're talking
They
about.
had it outside the park. I mean, it's funny. I mean, after they closed down like the tour ride and the Back to the Future ride, the crappy DeLorean is still there. And they had a bunch of like they had a hoverboard.
I remember that.
and they had like signatures on it and a Mr. Fusion cup. That had a bunch of the actor signatures on there with Michael J. Fox, Leah Thompson.
Speaking of Back to the Future,
Back to the Future.
Wow.
That was coincidence.
For those that didn't hear that, there was the little sting from Back to the Future that
Yeah. So I mean that's going to be cool to see.
of course, like getting a Simpsons donut and a Krusty Burger.
Yeah, it's just a one big shopping
Krusty
spree is what it is. Yeah.
If they if they do have anything cool for Back to the Future, like a Mr. Fusion or the flux capacitor, then yes, that I will buy. But
My knowledge, I don't know how much Back to the Future representation is still in Universal
Yeah,
Studios.
the original clock tower got burned down, so they managed to rebuild it, but like the Panthers and the clock, the original clock is all gone. So,
Oh, wow.
Due to the fire, yeah, we don't know how it started. Probably some asshole intern that was smoking.
or maybe struck by lightning.
Or struck by lightning. Yeah.
I mean, that's my only logical conclusion right there.
Dang it, Biff.
Don't want to be struck by lightning. But definitely looking forward to next month's trip.
I'm glad that I forget who did, but there's like actually a good copy of the ride footage from Back to the Future on YouTube. It's really cool to watch.
I
That's
was on
true.
that ride.
I've been on that ride.
I
actually.
can't remember if I've been on that ride. I know I went to
I know I
Universal when I was a kid in like the mid 2000s, but I can't remember if the ride was closed by then or if I did get to ride it.
I was gonna say if you can't remember it because it's. Yeah, I mean, I was like maybe 13 when I went to that ride, and so with the Back to the Future ride, basically you're in this zigzag, but you're watching this TV up on the ceiling, and it's basically like, hi, hello, I'm Dr. Emmett Brown, and he's giving his introductions, and now he actually runs like this little institute, and he's like, oh, we have a DeLorean all prepped up, ready, so for all you guys, to get on here, and of course here comes C. Thomas Wilson, showing up, and it's Biff. He's like, hey, Doc, here to mess up your ride and everything. So he like steals the keys.
I take it for a little joyride.
No, Biff, no, you gotta get on. And so you're basically inside this decked out DeLorean. So it's 6 seats, and there's a front and then the back passengers, and you either have the steering wheel. Of course, I was in the middle because I was playing with like the little dial.
I got the driver's
buttons
seat.
and everything, and yeah.
I luckily got the driver's seat. I was excited for that.
No, that was really fun. And of course, when you went inside the T-Rex's mouth and he's like, ugh, and he like pukes you out and all that. That was a fun one. Definitely an exciting one was the E.T. ride.
I never.
I don't
got a
think I
chance
ever got to ride that
that
one.
The E.T. ride was pretty fun. You're basically, there's
6 bikes.
Again, there's 6 bikes. There's a front. Of course, the middle one has E.T. and there's other people. So you're like, of course, you're kind of hovering over like these little bike handles and everything, and you're hooked, on a bicycle, and it's all calm and everything. So you start off in this little forest, and like do. Next thing you know, the creepiest thing ever in this fucking ride is a Jeep that like comes out of the forest. And it's like, shoot! And it's like, wow!
Oh man, what the
a
heck?
freaking Jeep that like almost tries to run you over. And so you're like, oh my god, oh, they're chasing us and everything. So now like the bikes are going like a little faster. Like, oh, come on, ET, let's do it. And then like you're looking down and there's like this nice little miniature like city set like down
that's
below.
cool.
That's
And
amazing.
I'm gonna have to look up this ride
You can
footage. out
feel
here.
like the wind and all that. And I think they have like a fog machine for the clouds, and you're just kind of looking down like, this is awesome. Yeah.
That's cool.
Some of us are like that one kid who's like shutting his eyes and all. I'm not looking.
Yeah, but like one of the best parts about that trip was the Universal Studios tour, and you got to, basically the tour. You get to see the Alfred Hitchcock, a Psycho House, the Bates
awesome.
Motel.
Nice.
And yeah, it's the original sets. And next thing you know, you go down, you see
Jaws?
Yeah, you see the Jaws ride and everything, and of course, here, welcome to Amity Island, and apparently the orca that was in Disneyland, is Universal, was the a stunt orca model that they used for it. Maybe it was that one or the Florida one. The Disney or the Universal Studios, Florida one, and so that was a good one. But the best part about that tour ride was that when you get on the tracks and everything, oh, it looks like King Kong's on here, and it had like the animatronic King Kong that like you see in the old '90s commercials.
Nice.
And he's wrecking like the monorail and shit, like, and everything. So I thought that was really cool, and I think one of the most memorable parts of Universal was, I think you could look up videos for this one, but it was like the backdraft. It wasn't a ride. It was like kind of like a simulation or something like that. So basically there's this lower platform, steel grating floor, and then there's the regular floor. And so you see on this big Titantron, and you see Ron Howard, director of Backdraft, Ron Howard, he gives this introduction. He's like, something along the lines of, have you ever encountered a fire? Well, chances are, you see a doorway and the doorknob is cold. That wouldn't have a fire, right? So it's a scene from the Backdraft movie, and this dude opens the door, the knob's all cold, opens it, and a fucking fire just boom engulfs the guy, and you're like, holy crap. So this is what our actors, Baldwin and Kurt Russell, all went through and everything. So next thing you know, they had like this warehouse is literally just set on fire. And, they have like barrels exploding and little geysers like going off and everything. And it's fucking hot, like unbearably fucking hot in there. And next thing you know, the people that are on the steel grated floor, it tilts down. So people like feel like, they're about to like fall and shit. And that was
This is a ride or an experience? Like, this sounds like an experience.
No, it's
It
an
was
experience.
an
Like we said,
experience,
it wasn't a ride. Thanks for
Oh,
listening.
sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. But yeah, it like tilts down and everything. You're like, oh shit. And so like, you thought like all the items and everything that you had, all the bags would like just fall down and just catch flames and shit. But it was pretty fun though. I'm just glad I got to experience it before they pretty much closed everything down for all the current stuff that's pretty much there today.
Soon to come, Nintendo Land, Wizarding
Nintendo
World.
Yes, Nintendo Land.
Yeah, Charles here is excited.
Well, the gift shops are already there, so I'm just like, okay, what do they have in here?
I'm getting a Mario hat.
Okay.
Just saying, if they have a really good Mario hat, I'll pick
Well, I'd
it
assume they would have a decent one.
But if it's like a crappy quality, I could just buy it anywhere and it's like half
Like the whole costume, kind
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping that they have like some of the ones that they've shown in like the one in Japan. Yeah, because like they've been showing like some of the merchandise that they've had there, and they have like the little the babam. There's this one. It's just I think it's like a cookie container, but it's a babam that's about maybe like looked like it was 10 inches tall or whatever. And I was like, if they have that, I am getting it right then and there. I don't care.
You and your babams.
He has a lot of the bombs.
Yeah, I mean you've seen my
Yes.
babam collection.
The one from the movie is the best one. You just gotta have the Reeboks on the bottom.
Well, yeah, I've got that one because remember you sent me the link.
Yeah,
to that.
Like all the backdraft ride, the ET ride, the only like exposure I have to those is the Universal Studios GameCube game, which you and I should both know from the AVGN episode he did on that.
Yeah, definitely that one. The one ride Okay, this one's unforgettable. Danny, you should have been around that time. I mean, you should have been born around that time and experienced it. But the Terminator 2 3D.
Yes.
ride,
I've seen like clips from the ride. I haven't seen like I want to
that was
find
the
that ride
truth of like
footage.
a follow-up sequel to Terminator 2.
Because like everybody came back for that. James Cameron, the cast.
Yeah, I mean that was fun, and I remember just being jaw dropped because like we're finally get to experience the T1 million.
T1 million?
Yeah,
What?
It was like this spider liquid metal thing.
Ooh, cool.
And like you wear these glasses, the 3D glasses, and it's like trying to pinch you or all that
That's
stuff. Like, try and
awesome. I
stab
got to
you.
look this up.
No, it's really cool, and there's a part where like John Connor and the T800. They go through time and everything. They're trying to escape from the T1000 again, and really, really cool moments. I mean, James Cameron, you could tell he had fun. The cast had fun making this. I mean, reuniting all over again. So yeah, definitely watch it on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I never had a chance to watch the 3D ride, but I did watch the live action performance stage. That was actually pretty cool.
Yeah, the live. Yeah, and it's actually it wasn't them, but
Yeah.
you're far away and you could see like all the voiceovers from Edward
Yeah.
Furlong and Linda Hamilton.
But the live, seeing the Terminators real life, just standing there lighting up with the guns, I'm like, oh god, this is it.
Yeah, no, like Stan Winston, yeah, he had control of those endoskeleton designs. So
Nice.
he's like, yeah,
God
yeah,
bless you, Stan
It was
Winston.
cool. Like as a kid, you're like lost in it because I'm like, this is fucking awesome and all that.
Yeah.
So
Still waiting on that Small Soldiers ride.
You're
Not
probably
gonna
gonna
happen.
be waiting, man, because unless if they like reboot it or something. But see, now for me, unfortunately, I haven't been. I've never actually been to Universal Studios, so like this will be a first for me. But unfortunately, so that meant I missed out on a lot of these cool rides and stuff. But thankfully, the internet provides, and the internet
poor
provides,
soul.
and like there's been like theme park history on YouTube.
Yeah.
They go through a lot of these rides and experiences and things like that, and talk about them and go into the history behind them and how they were made and stuff like that. And I always find that so fascinating when they go into those behind the scenes, like how was it made, like what did they have to go through to do this, and all that. And so even though I wasn't able to experience a lot of these, I could still rely on YouTube to provide me at least some level of the experience.
So it's funny that you actually mentioned that, because one of my favorite documentaries on Disney Plus is Behind the Attractions.
I love those ones.
Yeah, they show you how they did the Haunted Mansion. They go through the whole
Matterhorn.
history. Matterhorn, the Avatar ride. The Avatar ride is probably the most amazingly well-crafted ride that I've seen done with animatronics, and just the sculpt of the architecture just to make the rocks float. Just well
Disney
done.
World only, unfortunately.
For now, we'll see. Did you hear about the plans about the new dark park at Disneyland?
I've heard rumblings of that. I think it would be cool. We'll see. I'm not holding breath if it actually turns out to be true, but I have heard rumblings about that.
Yeah, I've seen concept art for this, and it looks interesting.
all right, well, what's the backstory?
So the
So
back-
it's basically a villain's park only. So it's like I think it's like Maleficent's castle is like the main attraction.
right behind Big Thunder.
Oh, okay.
So they're going. The concept is, so there's Big Thunder right here. You know where the lake kind of wraps around. They're going to be building in the back area, kind of like the Encanto Village, but then also like the
yeah.
Disney's villains side of the park.
That's right. I heard about that. Yeah.
How?
I guess they're going to get rid of the lake. I don't know.
But behind the
Get rid of the
lake
lake.
is Galaxy's Edge. Like, I'm saying, like space wise, that can't work.
So if you look at this map right here, it's like here's Big
This
Thunder.
map right here.
This map.
Meanwhile, our listeners are like, "What the heck?"
Okay, so just picture in your head, you got Big Thunder right here. You have that river that runs in a big
Yeah.
circle, and you have to go around that river to New Orleans Square, and from New Orleans Square to Galaxy's Edge. And I guess somewhere over here behind Big Thunder, there's a big, huge gap of opportunity to just build new landscape.
I don't know. I feel like that area by Big
They
Thunder
would
where
have
that
to
river
close
is.
a really big section off of
Yeah,
it. It's
so-
going to take some time is what
Yeah.
it is.
I personally don't see it happening, but if it happens, cool.
Yeah, like I can't confirm or deny it, but I'm just saying, like, but what I'm understanding, they're gonna try to expand it around that side.
We're
'Cause
encouraging kids to become villains and all that. That's the whole part of that.
such a messed up time. What are we getting our kids
Yeah,
into?
they want to shove all the adults. Y'all grown up to encourage. I mean, to relate to the villains more. So here's a park for you.
I will say it's a little unfortunate with some of these like expansions on the theme parks, like with Universal, with both the Wizarding World and now with Nintendo Land. They've had to demolish stuff in order to make room for it, which I get that. But at the same time, I think both with Wizarding World and with Nintendo Land, they've destroyed like over 100-year-old sets from like the old Universal days to make room for them. And it hurts knowing that, being like a huge film historian buff, but at the same time, I get it. It's unfortunate, but I get it.
Basically, the soundstage that they took down was the Phantom of the Opera from Lon Chaney Sr. himself. So
I'm surprised they didn't try just moving it.
no one.
Couldn't build around it, like make that a historical piece of architecture.
From the one hand, I get it because it's a business and they're trying to make sure that they're making money. And if an attraction is not making them the money, then they're leaving money on the table in a sense. But at the same time, it is history. It is film history, and once it's gone, it's gone, and it's painful to see that there was no way that
There's a wall that's left.
Exactly. Yeah.
Going
exactly.
up on eBay.
Exactly. Yeah. And
Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if someone actually put that wall.
Oh yeah,
up.
all the workers that probably demolished it were like
they kept
taking
pieces.
Yeah,
they kept pieces. You know they.
Oh,
did.
absolutely.
But it's still sad to see history go. And it's because it happens so often, especially with like props or film sets or whatever. And it's sad. But it's a part of business.
that's
but
show
it was-
business for you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but you still want to like slap somebody upside the head.
I mean-
like, come on, man, that's history.
I mean, Walt Disney has always said himself that innovation will always be moving forward. And with that innovation, you have to try to create something new and unique for the next generation. Now, when it comes to the Phantom of the Opera, I think they could have worked something in the park where they refurbished it, maybe even made it to like a Universal Classics section of the park.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Oh, well. At
Rest
least we
in
get
peace.
Nintendo Land.
Let's go.
Phantom of the Opera ain't got shit on Nintendo.
Phantom of the
does
Opera
what
version of
Nintendo-
Mario.
Oh, no.
I am the Phantom of the Opera.
Speaking of which, we'll be getting that teaser for the new Mario movie.
Oh,
in,
yeah,
like,
in about a
almost
week.
a week now.
Oh yeah.
I know everyone's jizzing hard about it. So this one right over here, Danny, he does. I know you have a kind of a dislike for Pratt as Mario.
It's not that I have a dislike. I used to like Chris Pratt a lot as an actor, but
dare you.
the last couple years, it's just he's felt different. He's felt off. So
Okay.
it's like I like him a lot less
Those
than I used
Jurassic
to.
Park World movies killed it for you.
No, I liked him in the first one. I kind of liked him still in Fallen Kingdom. I liked him in Infinity War and Endgame, but just it was everything after those movies. He felt different for some reason. I can't explain it, but just my like for him started to fade.
I mean, he was going through a remarriage and having another kid and all this other stuff going on.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's daughter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
so,
wow.
You didn't know that?
No, I don't really follow like their relationships.
Celebrity gossip.
Well, like
Yeah.
we don't follow them, but like it becomes like entertainment news, so
Yeah.
we hear about it.
I don't really follow that either.
That's why you have us.
just be glad that you don't.
The sad thing is that we know it, so you're fine, Charles.
Yeah.
Now, okay, going back to the Halloween Horror Nights. Okay, there was some maze announcements. Most of us were kind of waiting for like all like the movie or TV property mazes to be
Give us
announced.
like Stranger Things. It's the 40th anniversary of the Thing, so do that.
And
No.
we're a little bummed out, but of course, we do like some of the originality that's being presented to us. Like we'll give it a shot because we're, again, paying money for this trip.
Right.
We are getting killer clowns from outer space.
Yeah,
Fuck yeah, we
Yes,
I think
we
the
are.
only IP ones that are coming to the Hollywood Horror Nights is Halloween, Killer
Blumhouse.
Clowns, Blumhouse.
Classic Universal Monsters.
Oh yeah, the Universal Monsters Collide.
And that one stupid one with the
The
singer.
Weekend.
Yes, the Weekend.
Okay, that's I
Still
guess technically
don't get
IP, but everything else is at the very least original. Yes, I think one La Llorona that is based on a folk tale, but it's
Not
still,
the movie. Not yeah.
Yeah. It's based on the original folk tale, not the movie that came out a couple years ago.
So we're gonna go around the table for a bit. So top 3, don't explain why, but like top 3 mazes that you wish were there. Starting with you, Danny.
Stranger Things, because season 4 just came out. The Thing, Anniversary. Third, that's tough. I'm gonna go a side tangent. Yes, we have the Universal Monster already. Creature from the Black Lagoon. That could be a really interesting maze on its own.
Okay, Vinny.
Halloween Ends, Stranger Things.
getting Halloween.
We're getting a Halloween one, but
But still, I mean, like the new
Oh,
Halloween Ends is
okay,
coming
okay.
up, so we might as well have one for the movie.
it's a Halloween Blumhouse version.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Halloween Ends, Stranger Things, and Ghostbusters Afterlife.
There you go. Okay. Charles.
All right.
They took all the good ones.
Yeah, you son of a
Sorry,
bitch.
Charles.
Yeah, I was gonna say Ghostbusters. Definitely Stranger Things. For a third one, I don't know. I mean, I could maybe like Scream. I mean,
Okay.
Yeah.
you could maybe make something pretty cool out of that.
Honorable mention: The Mummy,
Ooh,
There's still the Mummy
that
ride.
could,
yeah.
I
the
mean, well,
'90s movie. Mummy.
Brendan
Still
Fraser.
there.
Yeah, that would have been freaking cool.
Even have the Scorpion King there.
God, that would actually be freaky.
Not freaky. It's
Just giant Dwayne Johnson with pincher claws. I'm like, oh no.
the bad CGI. Yeah, so like okay, some mazes. Yeah, definitely the Thing would be pretty cool, but I would love for them to bring back Predator with Prey. Prey would be a good one.
That would be awesome.
An American Werewolf in London. I would love to see
that would be
I wish I
epic.
could have seen that one when I was here years ago.
that. Oh, that was my favorite one.
Of course.
I'll have to watch that video.
Number one, but yeah, the third one. Yeah, I do like Stranger Things. I wish it did encompass more of part 3 or season 3 and 4. That would be cool. I'm surprised. I mean, there was a Trick or Treat one, and
I did see that one.
I would like to see Beetlejuice one.
Ooh.
Yeah, Beetlejuice. I know Killer Clowns is pretty cool with the Kyoto Brothers. But the third one, Scream would be cool. I would like to see. Oh shit! Yeah, Evil Dead or they've been going with Evil Dead, but I have to take it back. I would love for them to actually utilize, since this is Universal owned, Army of Darkness maze.
Ooh.
Oh yes.
So that would just be you still have some elements of like
One
Evil
and
Dead
two.
2. Yeah.
Right.
So that would probably be my top 3.
Okay. Especially since we're getting Evil Dead Rise next year.
Evil Dead Rise. I know that executive producer means nothing but Sam Raimi is attached to it, Robert Tappert,
Bruce Campbell.
and Bruce Campbell. Even though Ash isn't in it, we'll see. But how much they pay him. But
Right.
yeah, with the video game, they released the characters on the remake, which is cool. But Evil Dead Rise, I wish best of luck to those people. But I mean, with the remake, it pretty much said, if you don't have Raimi either writing, directing, or Campbell starring as Ash, I don't know what you can do with the Evil Dead series.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, the remake is fucking like holy crap, brutal and bloody, but it's it's one of those things that you just wish you had that charm still in there. So
Right.
And that's the thing a lot of these movies are lacking is the charm of the originals. Like they're just doing it because, hey, we haven't seen this movie in a while, let's remake it. But the problem is if you're not capturing that unique essence that made the movie as great as it was, it kind of falls flat. It's kind of like repeated recipe, but a little bitter taste.
yeah, there's moments where like people not take control, but when they take a remake and all that, either you give off your own genuine taste to twist to it that's gonna make it like, wow, we never thought of that before, this is pretty good, or it could just kill everything about it. So I mean, there's a lot of risks to take, but I'm surprised that someone at some studio was just like, you know what, yeah, let's greenlight this one, even though they didn't take notes from the original remake. Now,
Yeah.
the original remake, I would have loved to see, the Mia character. Sorry, spoiler. Was the sole survivor of the remake, and for her and Ash, either the universe crossover with each other. It was supposed to be like Mia and Ash team up versus the Evil Dead.
That would have been cool.
I would have loved to see that one, but now that Bruce Campbell Ash has pretty much retired the character, and he is full on like retired of the live action aspect of Ash. Like we will never see a live action Ash ever again, unless it's some convention and makes him dress up as Ash.
Right. I mean, could we get like some version of Freddy versus Jason versus Ash, please? Animated or not? I want
Animated
it.
or Maze too.
Yeah.
Give me Michael Myers versus Ghostface.
That would
Why?
be a short.
Because that to me would just be funny as hell.
Okay, if we want to get into versus movies, the original, and this one's getting a remake on Hulu, but yeah, the original crossover versus movie for that was supposed to be Halloween. Well, Michael Myers versus Pinhead. So
Holy shit.
yeah.
Oh.
yeah,
Really?
I mean, yeah. And of course, you have the Lord of Pain himself, again, Pinhead with all his Cenobites, and of course you have Michael Myers who doesn't say shit at all. Would he react to anything like all the chains like piercing through the shape? Just trying to,
No.
yeah. I mean, again, this is Pinhead. We're talking about it, and it wouldn't be much of a fight because people. I mean, he started even though he was the first one. Michael Myers started to copy like all the kills and his strength and everything from Jason Voorhees. So, but they're different guys, not just mask per
Yeah.
se. But
Michael was
silent.
first.
Yeah, Michael's first, but yeah, I mean,
The original.
Jason has the most kills and brutal ones. So,
And again, the reason why I bring up Ghostface versus Michael Myers, because again, two characters with a white mask, both kind of look like the shit
but
together.
Vinny, I will have to say this. Sorry, not to dog on you. You
Go
have
ahead.
to watch the Scream movies.
I did.
Huh?
I did watch the Scream movies growing up.
Oh, all of them?
Not all of them.
Okay.
I do remember watching the first.
Yeah. Okay, but you need to watch 2, 3, 4,
Okay.
and
I did capture glimpses of 2 and 3, but I do need to catch up on those.
But I personally, I don't see that working. Ghostface is too comedic of a slasher to
That's
go up
my
against.
point. though.
It's a satire of the horror movies, and for someone that was, they were this close with getting Clive Barker and John Carpenter to do the Halloween. And,
Really?
Yeah, they were
Wow.
really close. They were really close, but John Carpenter said that's neat, but it can't work. It can't work. Now, in some universe, they're probably enjoying all the horror slasher crossovers. Damn you.
I mean, like the ones that started like the horror verses were the Universal monsters. Like that, the first one, Frankenstein meets the Wolfman.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Please tell me you've seen that.
Nope.
No, for them, black and white. But
man.
Dude, I didn't grow up on horror films or classic monster films growing up.
It's like the Universal
Yeah.
movie monster cheese at its finest, but it's so entertaining. It's Bela Lugosi as the monster and Lon Chaney back as the Wolfman.
Hey, look, I'm not
so
saying I
cool.
don't want to watch it. I do want to watch it. I want to catch up on
Yeah,
that shit.
no,
and I'm
do
over it.
watch it. It's
Abbott and
so
Costello
good.
meet Frankenstein's a better
that's-
crossover.
love that one.
Hey guys, real quick, I saw an ad come up for a Teen Wolf Halloween costume.
Oh my god! Share that in the group chat.
My gosh.
Now that's a good werewolf movie. Yeah.
It's an entertaining werewolf
If we could get
movie.
that picture up on the...
No, I will.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
send
that's
it
why
to me.
that's why I'm sending it.
Yeah. Probably.
That could be another episode,
with
like
you.
like talking werewolf movies.
Oh wow, it's only $59.99.
I thought with you, son, it would skip a generation. No, Dad, it didn't skip a generation. It landed on my face.
His dad looks like a freaking
You look like a teddy bear.
yeah.
You look like the biggest Ewok, but he had like these like little dad glasses.
Explanation, Dad. Look at me. Look
Yeah.
at you.
Nah, God, the 80s can get away with it, but I heard the MTV. Teen
I
Wolf show.
love the MTV Teen Wolf series. That first season especially was so good. So the first season was very much horror inspired. The second season on, it still had that aspect of horror inspiration, but at the same time it went more deeper into the mythology of the world, which I appreciated. Like seasons 2 and 3 went really cool into the mythology, but that first season can get really creepy at times. That truck.
Now we're hearing like strange noises.
somebody-
That
you-
sounds like a power.
It's a power tool, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Somebody's-
they have been doing work all morning.
yeah.
I heard. I was like,
It's kind of like my downstairs neighbor. Unfortunately, they had an issue where I guess the pipes weren't done correctly for the vents for their air conditioning, and so whenever it would rain, the water literally came straight into those pipes and then ran down into their walls. And so it not only ran down into the walls, but then it also went down into the flooring.
so it
So-
sounded like it was raining in the walls.
Well, no. Like they started seeing water damage on the walls.
gotcha.
And then they realized the water damage was extending to the floor. And then as they started pulling the flooring up, they realized that whoever, I guess, did the flooring last, there was tile. And they just put the new flooring straight on top of the tile. So now it did double damage because it seeped right through and was in between both layers of it.
Oh,
And
wow.
it seeped all the way through. And so they said their entire kitchen is being torn out, and they've had several sections of their walls that had to be replaced just due to the extensive damage that they didn't even know was happening until it was too late. And so yeah, I've been hearing power tools and everything. They actually had to move out of their place, and they're at an Airbnb right now until
Wow.
they get it fixed. It's a mess.
So that kind of really tripped me out because last night my mom and I we were watching the Jeffrey Dahmer Netflix series.
Oh, the
yeah, with
Netflix
Evan
series.
Peters.
Yeah.
God, that is just such an eerie thing to watch because you're watching these people go through this experience of knowing this guy. And this one woman, she kept calling every single night trying to report this, and the police weren't doing anything about it. And it's just like, holy crap! Like,
There's
that
been
is just
so many
something else.
Jeffrey Dahmer like biopics and documentaries within the last like 7 years. Is there like some like weird like refascination of this particular serial killer?
I guess like everybody's fascination right now is to understand, people like him, like these.
What makes them all tick is what it is.
Yeah, understanding the story, what happened, going into depth and detail, like that's everyone's now trying to play detective these days.
I think it's also a phase too. If you'll notice,
Yeah.
that like it'll happen where society will go through phases where they're like interested in a particular subject or a genre or something like that.
Well, these
And-
Sorry, go ahead.
no. That's basically it. And so I think it's coming around again, where it's like, oh, hey,
Because these last couple of years, we've seen like biopics and documentaries on Ted Bundy, Charles Manson, and Jeffrey Dahmer. Like, okay, I get these were famous cases and famous serial killers, but
Infamous
do we
cases.
need several depictions of these people?
I mean, everybody's got a unique take on these
There's
stories.
views and money behind it. If it gets people to sit down and watch streaming services,
That
I
too.
mean, with
Yeah.
all of them, yeah. I mean, we have a couple friends, both in horror community or crime, that are just into all the crazy facts that are into these killers. God damn it! Yeah, I had to bring out my friend again. There was this music video that came out from this band called Skinned, and of course, one of my friends loves. I know it's pretty demented, but John Wayne Gacy. Oh yeah, the guy who dressed up as a clown, loved fried chicken and pretty much killed kids and all that. So pretty much
There was a
real life.
biopic done him years ago,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Who played him? Was it Vincent D'Onofrio?
No, it was Francis from Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
No way.
Yeah, it was pretty.
Did you guys see the video of his execution day, like the news report on that?
No.
So many people got it, like stood outside for his execution, were dressed as clowns, and they were chanting "na na na na, hey hey hey, goodbye." I'm looking at this crowd like, what the actual hell?
Why
is
are
going
you
on?
watching this?
No,
It just came
You
up.
know what his last? I mean, I'll try to remember. His last words before they pretty much executed him was "fuck you," like "fuck you all" or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot. I mean, look, pretty twisted and all that with serial killers or whatnot. I'm glad some of these people are now put in prison and all that and suffering their last days and all that. But, yeah, it's right. By the time we're recording this, it's around Halloween, so people are trying to get into that little creepy vibe. But when it's done to them, that's when they fucking say no.
Right.
I mean, it's and our fascination with horror and all that. It's there was actually this philosophy. It was like this little meme post that I saw on Facebook, like why the philosophy of people love horror movies or something like that. And they divided it into sections. I'll need to send it in the chat, but I saved the picture, and it was like, you think of it as a roller coaster ride, and I fall into either that category, and sometimes I would like a smart, and it challenges you. Or not challenges you, but you're curious about it.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, like I said, I have the picture saved up, but I'll send it to you guys. But
Okay.
yeah, it's pretty twisted. But
Yeah.
I mean, we'll get into that one because how are we? Yeah, we're almost out of time. So I mean, well, we could give a little taste of it, but let's go around the table once again. Danny, why do you like horror?
I don't know. I just like a lot of the horror movies I like are like the slasher stuff, like Halloween, Friday the 13th, Scream. But then, of course, I love the classic stuff, like all the Universal monster stuff. When it comes to like modern horror, I can't say there's a lot I've seen, at least based off like current memory. I know I recently saw Nope, but you could classify that more as a thriller instead of like a straight up horror movie. I don't know. Just I have fun with horror movies. I love seeing them sometimes on the big screen. I'll probably have trouble sleeping later that night, but I still remember when I was a kid, me and my dad got early screening passes to the Wolfman remake, and I didn't sleep for 3 nights.
Vinny, I know you love fucking ghost stories, so let's see, like, why do you like horror or
So I guess like with horror films, I kind of like the much more realistic take. So again, I wasn't big on horror films growing up, but I did find myself fascinated with the Michael Myers story, especially through Rob Zombie's remake. But I guess that also, kind of implies to the fact that my grandfather was a detective, and in our family of detectives, we love to kind of piece together what happened, how did this happen, where did it originate from, and that, I guess, is where my take of all this kind of implies. With ghost stories, I grew up dealing with, paranormal experiences in my house. Like me, my sisters, my parents, we all experienced this shit. So that's, I guess, where my fascination is when it comes to ghost stories. But yeah.
Yeah, and so just to add, if you guys have not heard about the Jerome episode, please tune into that one as well.
Yes.
Okay. But again, Charles, why do you like horror?
Well, kind of like with Benny, I didn't grow up with horror, so I was much later to the horror genre. I think I have you to thank, Joe, for getting me into that. But the thing that I enjoy the most about it is like the unknown, especially ones that make you question like what's happening, when is it going to happen, how is it happening, and did I just see that? That sort of thing. Where like one that I particularly enjoyed was the original Paranormal Activity.
I still need to watch those movies.
Yeah, the first one. Oh yeah, it just the fact that it was like a sort of pseudo found footage, but had many moments where things would sneak by you, and you'd be like, "What the heck's Did I see that? Did that really happen?"
Mm-hmm.
And just, but the unknown, and especially
the fear of the unknown.
yeah, and also of course I enjoy the classic slasher characters, Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger, those guys, Ghostface, I just, yeah, they're just because they're similar but they're different, and how they go about creating that suspense, that unknown is I find it fascinating. So that's mainly what draws me in when it comes to horror.
Gotcha.
So I found the picture and everything. So but again, like a horror movie, any good ones, particularly some good ones, we're going to leave you in suspense because we're not going to take a deep dive with this one. But Not yet. So the psychology of why we like horror movies. So there's basically 3 types of the horror movie allure. There's the tension that has the mystery, suspense, the gore, 2, the relevance, relevant to a target audience, basically like comparing realisms and shit. And so there's the unrealism. We know it's fake. And so there's 4 types of horror watching. You go for the gore, the thrill, the independent watching, or the problem watching. And so we have 8 theories of horror movies. There's a psychoanalytic one, came from the primitive idea suppressed by the civilized ego. Catharsis gives people a chance to purge their negative emotions. 3, excitation transfer. Negative feelings in the movie intensifies happy emotions when hero wins. We know that one. There's the curiosity and fascination. No explanation there. Disposal and alignment theory. Enjoys punishment of those who deserve it.
Saw movies.
Yeah. And sensation seeking scale. That's where I probably, i.e., think of it as a roller coaster. The gender socialization theory. And there's a big one, societal fears, kind of like with the Dawn of the Dead or zombie movies in general and shit. So, but, again, that's going to be for another particular episode.
Going back to the found footage with Paranormal Activity, I have not seen Blair Witch Project. I know that's one of the more infamous found footage horror movies, but I was thinking about this movie last night because I love this movie, Cloverfield. Would you consider that a kaiju horror movie for America?
So the guy who did it, Mike Flanagan, fucking great director and all that. The guy who did Dr. Sleep. It's more of a kaiju found footage. It's more when the trailers first came out, it leaned towards like suspense and like kind of like it's a horror movie almost. But I'm glad. If you really, for those that love like giant monster kaiju flicks, it's an action adventure movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's where
But it definitely has like horror elements to it, like that whole sequence when they're going in through the subway station.
yes, when they play with the scenes on the subway in the dark, and then of course if you want like the blood and gore,
you definitely get that.
yeah, with the girl that exploded in the helicopter, that was funny. Oh, oops, but yeah,
Movie's like 14 years old. It's fine.
oh, it's good. Yeah, it's definitely good.
It's not streaming anywhere. You have to buy it.
I know. I'm glad I have it.
10
Yeah, that's
Cloverfield
something
Lane
I
is
have it too.
streaming, but not Cloverfield.
Yeah, 12 Cloverfield Lane. That's
I still need to watch that one
John
too.
Goodman is fucking terrifying in that one. So, yeah, definitely good. All right, so that about wraps it up for this episode. We're your hosts, Joe,
Charles?
Vinny.
And Danny.
and this is the Petty Cash Podcast. And slow down, chew your food.